Guys, DG, I'm back again. Now, one thing that's probably gone over a lot of people's heads in the sense that it was yesterday's result against Watford was fantastic, considering that it looked like we weren't going to win and get the 3 points. It looked like we was going to drop two. It's a fantastic run. It's a fantastic win. It's a fantastic run of form we've been in at the moment, and there was some quality performers out there. But Aaron Ramsey, now we can all admit he was quite terrible yesterday. I mean, quite anonymous. Better second half, but he was quite anonymous for the large part. He was subbed after 60, 70 minutes. And we know prior to the game, it's interesting that he started because there was a lot of noise prior to the game about will he stay, won't he, this team, that team want him, wage demands are being ignored by the club. The club have curved into his wage demands. What else did we see? The clubs pulled the contract offer that was on the table. So there was a lot of noise in regards to his future. And he started, and personally, I don't think it affected him. He got a good standing ovation when he did get subbed. When Cech came off the pitch, you saw the armband being given to Ramsey. So it did provoke a lot of thoughts. Firstly, obviously, I cannot remember, but I remember when Aaron Ramsey said his 5 captains or something. He said Mesut Ozil, he said Peter Cech, he said Xhaka. He might have said Ramsey. If he said Ramsey, then I stand corrected. But I can't remember out of the 5, Aaron Ramsey being one of them. If he was, I stand corrected. But if he wasn't one of them and he's wearing the captaincy on the Sunday in the game, is that a show of, okay, stay, we want to, the noise might suggest something else, but we want you to stay, we want you to be important, you're a captain, you're vital and things like that. The standing ovation, standing ovation is an exaggeration. He got a decent send-off after getting subbed, but does that play on your mind as well? And he was clapping back, so I was looking at his movements. Is this someone that looks like there's several feelings on his head, several will he, won't he, and these things? I'm not too sure. For what it's worth, just purely speaking on the pitch matters, he was quite woeful, and he's still looking for some form. This time last year, he was in a decent bit of form earlier in the season, and yeah, he might be playing in a role he doesn't want to play in this sort of 10 role versus being one of the pivots or slightly deeper. Personally, I think whether he wants to play in that or not, it's a cop-out regardless. I say it's a cop-out not from him personally, it's because regardless of being there, your performances shouldn't be so bad. You got 2 assists against Everton, but okay, why don't you drop deeper then and be closer to the 3 if you want to do them things there? You've technically got the freedom you've always wanted in the side to not do what you want. You still have to defend. You still have to get up there and help Aubameyang, for instance, press. But you've got the license. For many a time, we've said Ramsey's indisciplined. He vacates the midfield. That's all of that's been factored in, and you finally get a chance to do everything, and you allegedly you're not interested. I mean, I can't believe that. Again, purely speaking on the pitch matters, you look at Iwobi. I've said Iwobi can play on the left, he can play on the right, and we do need players to be adaptable. But why can't Iwobi be played in that 10 position that Ramsey enjoys? And you saw what Iwobi did when he came on the pitch. To be fair with you, yesterday. Ozil could play there as well and be given the freedom, and then you could relinquish the wide position to either free up Iwobi to start from the flanks, or based on current form, Danny Wells puts in quite a shift and gives us a bit defensively. Put him there. There's a lot of things that can be said. Like I said, he had a better second half. He was largely anonymous in the first half. Not just him, Ozil weren't there as well. But yeah, like I mean, at least until January, or a contract signed. Every week will be a new conclusion in regards to his future. And in regards to some of the clubs he's been linked with, he's actually been linked with everyone in the top 6 and beyond. I just thought I'd put in a couple of thoughts in regards to what I would do if I was him. If I was him, firstly, you need to establish, do you want to stay in London? And you need to probably focus on your young family, where you want them to spend at least the next 3 years or so, formative years. You've got a new twins on the way, and you've got a young family already. You need to probably think about where you want that. Do you want a new adventure, or are you happy in London? Once you've established that, you can then consider staying at Arsenal if the contract's put back on the table. I mean, Spurs and Ramsey's not a thing, and even if he was going to do that, it's not quite Sol Campbell coming to ours. He's been linked with both Madrid clubs. Now, you do not, there's no way in hell you'll play a decent amount of games, 90 minutes at Real Madrid. You do not get into that midfield 3 at all. You don't even get out there in their side playing out of position. Even though Real Madrid, you could say, need a rebuild, but you'll be with Bale. At the end of the day, in any capacity, Madrid's Madrid. You look back, you've won FA Cups, you played Premier League, you played for one of the biggest clubs in the world and in Spain, in Real Madrid, and you've been with Bale. For the same logic, He hasn't been linked with Atletico, but why not go there? Play for Simeone, be a bit more important. Man United have been linked with him. I mean, their midfield is woeful. He'll give them something. I mean, he's definitely better than some of their midfield options, but he's not going to fix any problems. I mean, you would collect a very good wage being at Man United when you consider that you're 28, turning 29, and you need to think about that side of football now. You'd get a good contract at United. Alexis Sanchez is there. You lot both had a fight at Arsenal, so go and continue that scrap over there if you want. He's been linked with Liverpool. Clears guys like Henderson would be a good option in the squad. Probably could play that high pressing football that Klopp wants. I think he'd be a squad player as well. But by the same logic, I'd have to. For allegedly they turned down or turfed Fekir for this same logic of not being able to press and injury issues and things like that. Surely Ramsey, what's ever said about Fekir has to be said about Ramsey. Yes, Ramsey's not been, obviously he had that leg injury, leg break, and he came a long way from that. But it's not really a Fekir's long-term injury, which was over the last few years. But surely there'd be problems in regards to how Ramsey might feel pressing and playing all the games and them high-intensity football and things. I do think there'll be a concern over his physique or his physical ability to do that sort of stuff, which might not make sense because he's currently playing for Emre, who allegedly is on that sort of stuff as well. So yeah, if he's linked with Juventus from the same logic as Madrid, go there. Biggest club in Italy, technically teammates with Cristiano Ronaldo, won't play any significant part of any success they have, but it is what it is, man. For what it's worth, I actually don't want Ramsey to leave. I actually want to keep him, but if he goes, it's not that deep. He shouldn't get mad wages closer to the highest earners of the club because he's not shown that. Yes, he's been here for time and he scored in finals, but that does not make Aaron Ramsey a legend. Aaron Ramsey is not an Arsenal legend, people. Get that through your head. He has been a loyal servant, and maybe on the basis of loyalty and stuff, he deserves an increase, but definitely not on the wages I've seen. And this is someone who really likes Ramsey. You can go and check my tweets, but it is what it is, man. We can't think with emotion. We're not, as a club, at the stage anymore where we can think with emotion. We need to do what's best. But it is alarming if the contract was agreed, he did want to stay and it was pulled. But whatever, innit? Guys, DG, I'm out, man.